a little something for my cataracts. Hey, who knew that Errol Spence fought Terrence Bud Crawford with cataracts? He fought Terrence Bud Crawford partially blind. Who knew? So a couple of days ago, when I made my live and I was revisiting this fight, and people was coming in the comment section hating, people came to my YouTube comment section talking about, you need new content. This fight happened months ago. Why are you talking about this fight? And I brought the fight up to say why I believe Errol lost so bad. Do you know what I said? I said the main reason Errol lost probably wasn't because Terrence cheated. I don't know whether or not Terrence cheated. I said the main reason Errol lost probably wasn't because of the car crash. I said the reason Errol Spence lost was because Errol Spence, he was in a full-time position. He was a unified champion at welterweight, but he only wanted to be a part-time boxer. He put in part-time effort to a full-time position. Kudos to him. He's so talented. He got to get away with that for a long time, right? He got to get away with that for a long time because he's so talented. But Terrence Crawford had his number. And you know what Errol said? Errol said on Twitter, he said, yeah, he got his ass beat, but it was long overdue because he did not live like a boxer should live. He said he really didn't live like how a boxer is supposed to live. So what does that mean? Errol Spence agreed with what I said. And the people that was talking about why was I making a video on why Errol lost so bad, during the time that I was doing it, they said I made the video way too late. Why are you still talking about this? Now y'all see that my timing was impeccable. And the reason I named this live No More Excuses is because those are Errol Spence's words. Errol said it himself. After this surgery, the champ is back, no more excuses. Because these are his words. He said that no wonder Terrence Crawford was hitting him with jabs and hooks because he could barely see him. He said no wonder he was getting hit with jabs and hooks. He couldn't see these punches coming. The man got cataracts. The man partially blind out there trying to pull a Sam Langford. People was talking out their ass, bro. Facts. Talking out their ass, talking out their hind parts, as my grandmother would say. You know what I mean? But let's talk about this, man. This man was out there. Errol Spence is a soldier. Whether he's better than Terrence Crawford or not, we don't know. We're going to have to wait to see in the rematch. Do I think he's more skilled than Terrence? No. Do I think he's going to win the rematch? No. But one thing you can't take away from him, he is a soldier. He put it all on the line. Came back from a car crash. Got in another car crash. Still decided to continue his career. Had to get surgery in the Manny Pacquiao fight. That's why he didn't get to fight Pacquiao. Imagine if he fought Pacquiao with that torn retina. He might have went blind. He might have went blind. What's good, Zeke? What's good, Zeke? Yeah, you finally caught one. Cataracts in his eye from being in an almost life-threatening car crash. That along with the regular pounding from a boxing career. Pause. So now Errol had to get cataract surgery, and he said out his own mouth, no more excuses. The champ is going to be back. He said the reason he got his ass whooped is because he was man enough to admit he did not live a boxer's lifestyle. So not only are you not living a boxer's lifestyle, not only are you getting tipsy, you know what I mean? Everybody in the club get tipsy. Not only you in the club getting tipsy, not only are you not staying in shape outside of fights, you ballooning in weight up to 180 pounds, but you get into a car crash and you need surgery. You go into the biggest fight of your life partially blind, like Sam Langford. You halfway Ray Charles up in there. Georgia, Georgia. Errol was partially Ray Charles in the fight against Terrence Crawford, his greatest opponent. But that shows you the amount of dog that he had. He fought partially blind. He fought coming back off of a car crash. You got to do what? You got to pay homage, man. You got to salute. You got to salute. That's a dog, man. That's a doggy dog. You think Errol the next AB? Hell no. Hell no. What you talking about, bro? He just keep coming up with excuses. This is not an excuse. You see that? Look at the man's eye. Look at his eye. You can say you don't like Errol. You can say that he's a one-trick pony, but you cannot take away from the man's heart. The man fought blind. If it was me, you think I'd be fighting partially blind with cataracts? I'd say, no, y'all got to wait. I'd have told y'all, you have to wait. I could barely see. But the reason why you can't go into a fight and tell your injuries is because your opponent's going to pick that off. Imagine if Terrence Crawford, look at the way Terrence Crawford's brain worked, how fast he could read his opponent and how much he targets his opponent's body. Terrence said that he deliberately hit Errol with a shot behind the ear to mess up the equilibrium. If Terrence Crawford knew that Errol Spence was going in there with eye damage, man, Terrence Crawford would have that man blind for real. Crawford would have targeted that eye over and over and over, to the point where Errol's career might have really been done. So you can say that you don't like Errol. You can say he need to retire. You can say he's a one-trick pony, but you can't say that he's a coward. You can't say that he's a coward. You can't say that he's a bum. The man was unified at welterweight. You can say that he's unfocused, because he admitted it himself. Errol said himself that the ass whooping he got was long overdue, because he didn't live exactly like how a boxer is supposed to live. He didn't live a clean life outside of the ring. He didn't live a focused life outside of the ring. He didn't keep his weight down outside of the ring. So not only was he coming into the fight partially blind, as you can see, he got the damn Kakashi bandage on, but he was coming into the fight weight drained. Coming into the fight after almost a year and a half of inactivity. Probably 2 years of inactivity, I don't remember. But he was coming into the fight compromised physically, probably compromised mentally. We don't know the effects of that car crash. We will never really know the true effects of that car crash. Somehow the fans turned that statement into an excuse. That's because the people that's talking about boxing, I box amateur. I'm going pro most likely not next year. But the people that talk about boxing, most people would never get into the ring. But they had the harshest criticism because they will never take those punches, and they're jealous. They're jealous of these professional boxers, especially if you make it to the top. Because everybody wants to be a champion. When I started boxing, I'm like, damn, why everybody? I did not know that so many people were obsessed with wanting to box. How long should you train a day? I can't tell you how long you should train. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you I ran 10 miles yesterday. I did a 4-hour gym session yesterday, but I can't tell you if that's what you want to do. But look, the point is, the reason why they saying Errol making excuses is because these people will never lace up gloves in their lives. They're jealous of Errol's courage, so they doing what? They talking shit about Errol. The same way Errol got haters, just like you a regular person, you got haters. If it's something that you good at, that a lot of people are into, say if you could sing. Everybody want to be able to sing. As soon as you hit that note around the hater, they going to be mad. Why you singing? Why you always singing? Bruh, it's 10 a.m. in the morning. Don't nobody want to hear that shit. It's not because it's 10 a.m. in the morning. It's just because they mad that they can't do it. How you built up to run that much? Oh, well, look. Luckily, I had an uncle that forced me to work out in a very, very high intensity when I was a kid. So it's nothing for me to go run 10 miles. In fact, when I first started boxing, I used to do 10 miles too much to the point where I was injuring myself, overworking myself. But I got a fight coming up, so I'm upping my mileage. Be quiet, bro. Why would I be quiet? I don't feel like being quiet. I'll be quiet when I get good and ready. How about that? Huh? You like that? Now let's get back to the topic at hand. My timing was impeccable. Errol Spence agreed with what I said. He said the reason he looked so bad, the reason he got that ass whooped is because he didn't live a boxer's lifestyle. He wasn't completely focused on boxing. He was getting tipsy. Probably was on that Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? So not only was he getting tipsy, but he was messing with, he's Jamaican. So that's all I'm going to say. He was getting that Bob Marley going. Can't be too explicit because we on a TikTok live. He wasn't focused on boxing. He was gaining weight in between fights. Not only was Errol gaining weight in between fights, but the man had cataracts and didn't tell nobody. The man was Kakashi Sensei, blind in one eye, pulling a Sam Langford. That's a dog, bro. Whether you like it or not. I love Spence, but I hate excuses after a loss. This is not an excuse. Do I think Terrence Crawford would beat Errol Spence with 2 good eyes? Do I think Terrence Crawford would beat Errol Spence with his third eye open, with his pineal gland open? Yes. With 3 eyes, I think Terrence Crawford would beat Errol Spence. But we cannot ignore the fact that the man went into the fight with cataracts. If you go watch that fight, I broke down that fight on my Patreon channel. Make sure you sign up for Patreon. I break down full fights up there. $1 a month minimum. You could pay whatever you can afford, but let's get back to the point. I broke down that fight on my Patreon channel, and I saw, damn, Errol's defense, his reflexes look so slow to the point where he couldn't even put his guard up to block that jab. He couldn't even parry the jab. It looked like he was parrying after he already got hit. That's because he couldn't see the jab. He said it out his own mouth. That's why he was getting hit with the jabs and the hooks. But when you have a reason, not an excuse, but when you have a reason, it's like a double-edged sword because you're going to explain to your fans why you look so bad, but when you come back with 2 good eyes, if the same thing happened, it makes you look even worse. So that's why sometimes it's not good to share the reason, whether it's a reason or it's an excuse. If y'all in here, make sure y'all tapping the live, man. Make sure y'all tapping the screen. Let's get these likes up. Just like Pacquiao felt like he had a shoulder injury after Floyd dog walked him. Pacquiao was faking. You see this bandage on Errol's eye. Errol really couldn't see. Errol already had surgery on that eye. This is not an excuse. Y'all are haters. And some of y'all are race fans. So y'all don't think black people feel pain. Y'all don't think black men actually get injured. So y'all look at us like gods. Some of y'all. So that's another reason why y'all not giving Errol his props. Hey, Michael Durden, thanks for the like. Errol has trouble with people who move their feet. That's facts. That's facts. No printer. That's facts. Yeah, but you can't attribute that all to the vision. Crawford schooled him. Of course, nobody is. I literally just told you, and I say it again. With 3 eyes, if Errol had 2 good eyes, if Errol had his 3rd eye, his pineal gland open, that's 3 eyes. I still think he loses to Terrence Crawford. But does he get completely washed? No. The man was pulling a Sam Langford. The man partially blind in there trying to box. The man had cloudy eyes. The lens in his eye was cloudy. That means his vision was what? Impaired. Boxing, you need to be 100. You need to be able to fight. Y'all saw what happened to Tio and Cambosos. Tio had an asthma attack. If you have something physical go on in that boxing ring, 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose, bro. If you think Boots or Crawford wins, I'm going to be breaking down who I think wins with Boots and Crawford on Patreon when I get time. That's why he looked high. Now, I don't know why he looked high. I think that was from the man tried to go up and he got altitude sickness. He did so much stuff wrong in this fight, bro. But all of this, you could say this reason, that reason. The real reason he looked so bad is what I said the other day in my YouTube video. I said why Errol Spence looked so bad. I said it's because Errol Spence was in a full-time position trying to have part-time work ethic. You cannot be a unified welterweight champion and not stay in shape year-round. You cannot be unified welterweight champion and you want to get tipsy every weekend. Everybody in the club get tipsy. You can't do that. You can't be on that Mike Tyson, if you know what I mean. Hello, my fellow black brother. I don't know if you trolling or what. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, that's the real reason why Errol lost. Even in the cataracts, it made everything worse. But the real reason he lost is just not taking care of his body. And on top of all of that, the man was unlucky. The brother was unlucky to get into those car crashes. So he's had a series of unfortunate events. A series of unfortunate events. And some of them was his doing and some of them was out of his control. No, it was not because of the car crash. It was because of a myriad of things. It wasn't because of no one thing. Most of the time in life, things go down. It's not because of one thing. It's because an accumulation of things. Things are not always black and white. But yeah, I just had to go ahead and jump on this live and say this. Basically, this is my I told you so moment because I told y'all a couple days ago, my timing was impeccable. I said Errol lost so bad because he didn't take care of his body as a professional. And it caught up with him. He went up against a killer. He went up against an all-time great talent. And not only did he have the cataracts that I didn't know about, but he had work ethic and he wasn't focused. So his work ethic wasn't where it needed to be. His focus wasn't where it needed to be throughout his career. Not for that one fight, but throughout his career. All of that adds up. Now that you're 33 years old, your body is going to reflect on how you've treated it the last 10 years, the last 15 years. And the people that get to make it to be 50 and 60 and they healthy, they treated their body good for the most part when they was 20 and 30 and 40. So now you see the results of that. The people that didn't, you see the results of that. Sports is a much faster aging process in sports. You can't box at the highest level at 50 years old. So the aging process is like dog years and shit. Each year is like dog years. So when you don't take care of your body in sports, by the time you hit 33, it's going to be like you 43. Good luck with your upcoming fight, bro. I love stopping by for these lives. Thank you. I appreciate it. So this is your excuse why Spence got whooped. If you must have just joined the live. I told you Spence lost because he didn't take care of his body throughout his career. And I also believe Terrence Crawford is just better than him. I said if Errol had 3 eyes, that's going to be the thing for the day. If Errol had 3 healthy eyes, his 2 regular eyes and his pineal gland, his 3rd eye, if all of them was open, he's still losing to Bud Crawford in my opinion because Bud looks to be the better fighter. Bud has longer arms. Bud is older, but he's still faster. Bud didn't drink. He didn't smoke. He took care of his body. His IQ looks to be better. Bud looks to be multifaceted in the ring. Is the rematch in April? I don't know. Call Al Heyman. Spence is washed. He got in an accident. It's over with. Well, he came back and fought Ugas and looked dominant as hell. So he's not washed. But you can't have cataracts going up against somebody like Bud Crawford, and you shouldn't have cataracts going up against anybody. If you can't see out your eye, don't try to tough it out. Go get surgery. And that's why I named this live "No More Excuses," because those are Errol Spence's words. He said after this surgery, when he get his eye back, no more excuses from him. Those are his words. He said no more excuses. The champ is back. He can't take that type of punishment and beat Bud. Facts. You think Errol beat Tito and De La Hoya in their prime? I don't know, but I think that he would wear him down. I think he would be too big for him. Do you think Spence should move up? Of course, he can't. He should never fight at 147 again. He's weight drained. If you ain't here, make sure you like him live, man. Let's get them lights up. Just tap the screen. I appreciate that. Nobody can beat Tank. I believe Devin Haney and Shakur, if they fight Tank tomorrow, both of them will win. Shakur will win at 135. Devin will win at 140. I have videos explaining why. Go check out the YouTube. Maybe Errol wanted to fight Bud really bad. Yeah, I mean, you making jokes and shit, Soul Negro, because you had the laughing emoji. But yeah, he really did want to fight Bud so bad to the point where he compromised his own body. He should have got the surgery, waited, took his time, went up to 154. Instead, he rushed the fight to prove his own legacy, to become undisputed. He rushed the fight for the fans, and he ignored the bodily, physical harm that he was experiencing. But this is just like him because he did the same thing in the Denny Garcia fight. He wasn't ready to come back when he fought Denny Garcia after that car crash, but he ignored all the pain because he's a dog. But sometimes even a dog has to know, look, I got to take a break. Even a dog has to rest. Can't just be all dog, you know what I mean? Errol's the type, he could bark and he could bite, but even a dog got to take a break sometime. Are you related to the who in Alabama? I don't know what you're talking about. Guys like Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, Jamal Charlo ruin the sport. They don't fight. Errol Spence was unified. He won all three of his titles, taking them from other athletes. So I don't know what you're talking about. Jamal Charlo, yes, he has played a part in ruining the middleweight division by inactivity. Jamal Charlo was undisputed. Jamal Charlo was fighting people. So you just talking. You just basically just lumped up a bunch of black men and was like, yeah, all these guys ruining the sport, all these black men. No. Keith Thurman, he did play a part in ruining the sport because he was running from Errol. Keith Thurman didn't want no parts of Errol. That's why Keith was so happy when Terrence Crawford beat that ass. Because Keith was like, whew, I know I couldn't do it. And now Keith could say, look, y'all see what Terrence did to Errol. Y'all said I was ducking. Why would I be ducking that? You know how Keith gonna try to be proper and shit. Why would I be ducking that? Usyk or Fury? I'm going with Usyk. Fury look like damaged goods. Deontay Wilder look like damaged goods. That's what happens when you have trilogies, and both of the guys are getting knocked on the canvas. Both of the guys are giving their all, and their body is being pushed to the limit. Both Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury could have been killed at one point or another in their trilogies. So when you go through wars, there will be damages. You know what I mean? Irreparable damage that you take on your body. Do you got Walker this weekend? Walker the GOAT. Walker who? I've been busy. Who the hell fighting? Walker who? I don't know what's next for Errol. What's next for Errol is Bud. We know what's next. He already activated the rematch club. Johnny Walker. I don't know nothing about no Johnny Walker. Make sure y'all liking the live, bro. Tap that screen, baby. Ngannou or Joshua, and I'm doing a live on that sometime this week. But Ngannou, what he did to Tyson Fury, a lot of different things went down. Number one, Tyson Fury, he must not have had those loaded gloves that he used against Wilder. I don't know what he used against Wilder, but he didn't use it. He wasn't able to use it. Ngannou and Tyson said that they was making sure to check the gloves. So, yeah. And on top of that, what was I finna say? Oh yeah, on top of that, Tyson Fury washed up. So Ngannou got Tyson Fury at the perfect time without the advantage of them cheating ass hair horse gloves that was bending left and right when he fought Wilder. So he caught him at the perfect time. He made sure that he wasn't cheating, and Ngannou beat him. But Anthony Joshua, the power that Joshua has is the power that Tyson Fury looked like he had out of nowhere against Deontay Wilder. And Anthony Joshua is much more polished as a boxer than Tyson Fury looked in that fight. Usually Fury's a little bit better. And Anthony Joshua is 2 to 3 times more polished as a boxer than Ngannou. That's really what I meant to say. Because as a boxer, Fury has shown better craft than Joshua outside of that last fight with Ngannou. But Ngannou, he looks raw, he looks sloppy. And what he did against Fury, he's not going to be able to repeat that against other top heavyweights. Like, he wouldn't be able to do that to Jared Anderson. He wouldn't be able to do that to Anthony Joshua. He might be able to do that to Wilder because Wilder is damaged goods as well, and Wilder has never had an extensive skill set. Ghost or Keyshawn? I'm going with Keyshawn, bro. Joshua is soft jaw. I mean, hey, it's heavyweight, man. Anybody can get knocked down. Those are the biggest men on the planet that are able to box. So anybody can get dropped at heavyweight. And Joshua, he gets dropped, but he gets up off the canvas most of the time. The only thing I don't like about Joshua is that he be worried too much about what the public think about him. Other than that, Joshua got a good heart. He's great for the sport. He's a pay-per-view star. You know. He got the ladies. He good for the sport. He could punch. Soul Negro is finished. Ngannou trash conditioning. Now, Ngannou's conditioning was great. For him to jump inside of a boxing ring, do 10 rounds, and he's doing another 10-rounder against Joshua, but for him to do that with no real professional experience against a heavyweight champ shows that he has great stamina. Ngannou power is different. He got a puncher's chance fast. He has a puncher's chance, but you're going to see that doesn't really matter. That doesn't mean much when you're in there against top competition. If Ngannou is able to beat Anthony Joshua, that's going to make boxing look so bad that from now on, when y'all say UFC is better, I'm not even going to argue with you. Because there's no way that UFC fighters should be able to cross over like that. It's not supposed to happen. Tyson Fury made all of boxing look bad that night. So Fury, go ahead and get them cheating ass gloves back. Because you're embarrassing the sport, buddy. Or maybe retire. Maybe you damaged from the Deontay Wilder fight, like I said. That was a trilogy, that was a war. But yeah, Fury embarrassed the entire sport. Make sure y'all liking the live if you're in here. Tapping that screen. Only guy that has a chance against Boots is Crawford. I don't know. You saw the white boy Karen. Karen gave Boots problems just by moving. Boots is a guy that likes to fight with his feet planted. Jamel can't fuck with Errol, let's be real. Yeah, Jamel, he kind of said that himself. He said Errol hit him the hardest and blah, blah, blah. Nobody hit him harder than Errol. So it seemed like Errol would be punishing him in sparring. But if Jamel was getting punished by Errol in sparring and Terrence punished Errol, then most likely Terrence going to punish Jamel. But we know styles make fights, but I don't know. After the fight with Jamel and Canelo and then Jamel getting locked up, mentally he's not where he need to be. And yeah, mentally he's not where he needs to be. He did not show no type of lion or no type of dog in the Canelo fight. We knew he was going to lose the Canelo fight. It would have been an upside set if he won because Canelo was a larger man. Canelo had more experience, more power, all of that. He was jumping up 2 weight classes. But the way that Jamel decided to lay down, not a good look. And that wasn't good for his spirit. That wasn't good for his mind. If it wasn't for the accident, I think Errol would have had a better chance. Yeah, he would have, but he probably still would have lost, but we would never know. The accident happened, just like the cataracts happened. He shouldn't have fought the man with a cloudy eye vision. That was silly on his part. But I give him credit. Can't nobody say he ain't a dog. Can't nobody say, he ain't a man. Mayweather retirement versus Kobe's retirement was yin and yang. I don't know what you mean by that. Thoughts on Sabril calling out fighters in his weight class? Ain't nobody going to fight Sabril unless they have to. His name isn't big enough and he's extremely dangerous. What's up, KJ? What's up, Pigeon Mike Tyson? Errol's still the truth. That's facts. So Spence retired? No. Should Barrios retire after he fights Ennis? Barrios, I don't know. It's on him. I mean, they always going to want Barrios to come out there because Barrios is a guy that makes the fight look competitive. So Barrios was perfect for Tank, even though he's a little bit too big. Barrios is perfect for Boots. He's perfect for anybody who wants to get a formidable opponent on their resume because he's going to make it look competitive. It's like if you fight Isaac Cruz. I think Isaac Cruz is even more annoying than Barrios because Isaac Cruz, his body is designed in a way where he could take more punches than Barrios. Because Barrios got stopped by Tank, a smaller man. Isaac Pitbull Cruz, he didn't. He was able to deal with Tank's power. Whether Tank was injured or not, Cruz got caught flush a lot of times. He was able to deal with it. If Ngannou beats AJ, I'll put him as the #1 heavyweight in the world. Yeah, me too. I'm going to put him as, first off, the performance that he had, that crossover performance, he's the #1 athlete in the world. We've never seen no UFC fighter do that. Coming from UFC to boxing is extremely challenging. Boxers, they only focus on their hands, so their hands are much more proficient than any UFC fighters. Ngannou dominated as a UFC fighter, and now he's supposed to be the heavyweight champion of the world. We've never seen anything like this. So he may be one of the greatest combat athletes, period, ever. If he beats AJ, if he knocks AJ out, I'm going to be calling him. I'm going to say, yup, it was a guy from Sierra Leone He used to dig mud huts and shit. He decided to jump on a boat, came to America. Well, came to Europe first, then America, and dominated. He was great in both sports. He was one of the greatest combat athletes ever. He could box and he could fight in the UFC. That'd be his legacy. Cameroon, my fault. I said Sierra Leone. Cameroon. They focus on hands, footwork, head movement, etc. Yeah, they focus on a bunch of boxers focus on a certain skill set. UFC fighters, they have to worry about grappling and kicking. So their hands could never really be as proficient as the top boxers. That's why Tyson Fury made the sport look horrible. The way that Mayweather was playing around with McGregor, that's how it's supposed to look when a top boxer fights a top UFC fighter. UFC is technical as well. I can't just say boxing is technical because UFC is technical. You can say boxing is more technical if you want. T.O. or Sabril, I don't know. Sabril, we don't know. We just know that he's dangerous. We know that he killed a man in the ring. And we know that ain't nobody lining up to fight that man. They acting like they want to, but they know they don't. They know that the way that he fights with a kamikaze type style. Sabril is willing to put his life on the line when he gets up in there. He doesn't care really about his defense. So he's always going to be in position for crazy offense. T.O. did send him an offer. Okay. T.O. next fight, I seen a flyer of T.O.'s next fight. It wasn't Sabril on that damn flyer, bro. Shakur is too fast for Tank. Shakur's feet may be faster than Tank's. But hands, I don't think so. I think Haney would beat Sabril since he doesn't have good defense. Yeah, but Haney is gonna be like when Mayweather fought Sosa. Like it's not gonna be no easy win. Like Haney gonna have to be on his A game. Cause Haney is a mover. He knows how to move in the ring. So I agree. But it's not gonna be easy. If Haney is off a little bit that night, he might get put on the canvas. Benavidez drowning Bivol. Benavidez will beat Bivol, bro. The way that Bivol said, sparring and sparring, but the way that Bivol was paying that man respects after that sparring session, I think Benavidez would be too much for Bivol. Now, Bertabiev, he got a chance of knocking out Benavidez and Bivol. But Bivol, in order for him to beat those guys, his footwork has to be on point. Because both of them hit way harder than him. Bivol is missing the power. In fact, when Bivol fights those guys, Bivol would have already fought him if Canelo wasn't holding up the super middleweight division. But when Bivol fights those guys, it's going to be power versus finesse. And we're going to see what's more important in boxing at light heavyweight. Is it power? Is it knocking somebody out? Or is it moving it around and making a guy work? Because at light heavyweight, they don't really want to have to chase a guy. Those guys are bigger. So they're going to have less stamina. They're carrying so much weight. So we're going to see. Bivol has a chance to be remembered as the best light heavyweight of his generation. Bertabiev going to retire soon. He's pushing 40. He's pushing 40, but he's a guy that's coming in there to knock you out. So like George Foreman could come back at 40 and become heavyweight champion. Bertabiev is going to be fine. What he has, power, that's the last thing that leaves a boxer. So Bertabiev could be 40 years old, fight Bivol and Benavidez and still win. And he's not a Deontay Wilder type where all he has is the power. He actually has fundamentals. He actually has been working on the boxing craft as well as the power. Not to rip on Deontay, but we all know Deontay was focused on the power for a little bit too long. He waited a little bit too long to start working on the skill. But he is still one of the greatest athletes in the heavyweight division, has one of the hardest right hands ever in all of boxing. Shakur used to be talk with Devin and Tank. Now it's only about Devin and Tank. I don't know what you mean. Are you saying Shakur is no longer as big as those guys? Shakur hasn't fought the guys that those guys have fought. Tank, he hasn't fought a real challenge as far as a skills opponent, but Tank fought a famous boxer in Ryan Garcia. So Shakur hasn't fought nobody that's really famous like that. Devin, we all know he fought Loma. Devin out here earning stripes. So Shakur's resume doesn't compare to those guys. So that's why it seemed like they're leaving him, if that's what you're saying. It seemed like they're running, circles around him. They hate him because he made the most powerful star ever. They saying Usyk getting hurt by the Samoan. Shakur's a better boxer than all of them, but Tank has the power. I disagree. I disagree that Shakur's a better boxer than all of them. We don't know who's really better yet until they line it up. But yo, we had a good live. I just wanted to make this little quick, short live. If somebody want to come up for a little bit, I'll wait for a minute or two. Other than that, I'm going to jump down. So if somebody hit the little guest link and come up, they can share their perspective. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. In my opinion, Haney would beat Shakur. He has way better experience. Yeah, Haney does have a lot of experience. And the experience that he's gaining is why I'm leaning more towards his side, whether he fights Shakur or Tank. But especially Tank, I believe Haney At this point, at 140, I believe Haney would beat Tank. And it'd be convincing too. I think he would convincingly beat Tank. And I'm gonna go ahead and end the live on that. Y'all have a good day.